What's going on, everyone? CJ back here with a brand new episode of the SFL. That is right, the Smallz Football League. And we have officially made it to the playoffs in season number 1 of the SFL 2.0. I am super excited to see how this is all going to go down. Of course, we did not make it, the Terminators, but that's okay. Next year is going to be our season. I'm sure of it. I got a good feeling, but shout out to all my subscribers who showed up and showed out this year and helped to lead their team into the playoffs. Just to get a look at the playoff bracket here, just to refresh your guys' memory, over on the NFC side, we got the Savannah Spirits, who have secured that number 1 seed and a first round bye. They've been the team to beat all season, and I'm sure that they're going to be the team to beat in the playoffs this year as well. So shout out to the subscribers on the Savannah Spirits for securing that number 1 seed. We also got the 2-seeded Roswell Revolution taking on the 7-seeded St. Louis Sentinels. We got the 3-seed Albany Argonauts taking on the 6-seed Salem Steelhawks. And of course, the 4-seed Grand Rapids Lightning taking on the 5-seed San Jose Industrials. Over on the AFC side, number 1 seed and first round bye. Team to beat over on that side is the Jersey Shore D's. They have secured the number 1 seed and the first round bye, and they are going to be very difficult to stop in the SFL playoffs, I am sure. We also got the number 2 seed Portland Destroyers taking on the number 7 seed Massachusetts Smithies. We got the 3-seed Memphis Suns taking on the 6-seed St. Pete Manatees and the 4-seed Providence Red Raiders. I almost forgot that team because there's no subs on it, and we haven't talked a lot about them, but shout out to all the AI, I guess, on the Providence Red Raiders. They will be taking on the 5-seed Edmonton Coyotes. So here's how it's all going down, guys. In today's episode, we are going to sim the playoffs week by week, showing all the subscriber stats along the way, en route to seeing who will bring home that illustrious Smallz trophy. Cannot wait for that. Everything's on the table. There could be some upsets. The teams that should win might win. It's just going to be crazy. We'll also show the standings of every team so you can see how your team did that your subscriber player is on. And I will also highlight the stats, the subscriber stats for the 2024 season, as well as show the yearly awards. We also got a new subscriber joining here, freshly ready for the next season. So I will highlight that new subscriber, guys. We are up to 75 subscribers in the SFL. Next season, we will make it to 100. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure that we are going to have a wild off season as well. So the off season will also be in this video. Man, we got a lot to get into today. Cue the intro, man. And as always, guys, if you would like to join the SFL as a creative player, check the pinned comment down below. It's got all the information I will need to add you into the next episode. Feel free to join the official SFL Discord. Link is in the description. I keep track of stats. There's a general chat for you guys, standings, matchups, stuff like that. It's a really good time. I need to update that, which I will do very soon. But feel free to join that and also take a look at the channel memberships. Ton of cool perks. It's very cheap, only a couple bucks a month. You can support me if I'm one of your favorite content creators, and you will have your player receive Superstar or Superstar X Factor, as well as some other cool perks as well. But shout out to a new subscriber on, thank God, the Milwaukee Motors. They went 1-16 last year. Absolutely terrible, and they need some subscribers to bolster up this team. We got a good one right here. That would be Mr. Cooper Fox. Shout out at Mojo Red down there in the comments. Yes, you are seeing your screen correctly. A 7-foot quarterback, only 180 pounds, so a bit of a beanpole here, but a 7-foot quarterback out of East Carolina. Gave him the Justin Fields type of drip, and he's got the Josh Allen throw power at 98 to go along with the Michael Vick speed at 96. He is going to be a threat. I don't know how you would stop a 7-foot quarterback. Now, you're not the most accurate in the world. He's pretty accurate. He could throw on the run for sure, but with the speed of Mike Vick and the cannon of Josh Allen, you may not have to be accurate. And Cooper Fox here is going to be looking to turn the Milwaukee Motors franchise around. They were terrible this year. And we'll get a quick look and see how all the teams finished here. Be sure to check out your team that your subscriber player is on. Shout out to all the 13-4 teams, all tied for the best record in the SFL. We got the Jersey Shore D's, we got the Savannah Spirits, and the Roswell Revolution. Jersey Shore D's, by the way, are riding an 8-game winning streak going into the playoffs. Number 1 seed, that's scary. And the Roswell Revolution, in their own right, are riding a 5-game win streak. So very, very scary teams here. Well, 12-5 ball clubs, we got the Albany Argonauts and the Grand Rapids Lightning. 11-6 teams, we got the Edmonton Coyotes and the San Jose Industrials. 10-7 squads, we got the Salem Steelhawks, who are also on a 3-game winning streak. They were kind of teetering on playoff contention, but they're playing good football at the exact right time. We got the Portland Destroyers and the Memphis Suns, as well as the St. Petersburg Manatees. Got your 9-8 ball clubs here. Some of them made the playoffs, some of them didn't. We got the Providence Red Raiders, who did just sneak in. The St. Louis Sentinels, I don't want to talk about it. They're one of the reasons why I guess I'm the reason why we didn't make the playoffs, right? If I was better and had a better record, we would have made it. But the St. Louis Sentinels, if they would have lost and a couple other things would have happened, we could have made the playoffs, but no hard feelings. They're Sentinels, so they're 9-8. Massachusetts Smithies are 9-8. The Akron Summits, 9-8. The Boulder Rockies, 9-8, and missed the playoffs. That is wild, because at one point they were tied with the Savannah Spirits for the best record in the SFL, and they lost 7 games in a row. Yeah, that is absolutely, they were 9-1, and they lost 7 games in a row. So that is tough there for the Rockies. Topeka Silverbacks, were also 9-8. And then your sub 500 ball clubs, which will include us. We got the Rochester Rebels, Tuscaloosa Terminators, there you go. The OKC Eels, who we just beat. So, hey, if nothing else, we spoiled their playoff hopes. They're in our division, right? So that's good. Sacramento Sharks, they also missed the playoffs. Very, very unfortunate there. 7-10 ball clubs, we got the Montana Mountain Lions, Toronto Thunderbirds, Kissimmee Crocs, Dakota Pronghorns, and the Louisville Fighters. Got the Juneau Snow Owls at 6-11. Fort Worth Rough Riders. I'm forgetting these teams, man. These are all created by me, by the way. If you guys didn't know, just saying, go check them out on the Download Center. But 5-12, we got the Fort Worth Rough Riders, the Las Vegas Jacks, and the Portland Lobsters. And we got the North Carolina Flyers at 4-13. And the worst team in the SFL, Milwaukee Motors, 1-16. But my man Cooper Fox gonna turn that franchise around. Checking out the subscriber stats, guys. I'm gonna kind of fly through these here. I want you guys to see how your player did, but I also don't want this episode to be 2 hours long. So I'm just gonna kind of fly through these here real quick. So make sure to see how your subscriber did. But Craig Ray here of the Albany Argonauts, 4,081 passing yards. He had 36 touchdowns, 16 interceptions on a 71% completion percentage. And then, of course, superstar X Factor and channel member running back Bobby Donuts had over a 1,000-yard season. That is awesome. He had 1,185 yards to be exact, averaged 3.8 yards per carry, and also had 14 touchdowns to boot. And quarterback Craig Ray had 313 yards for a quarterback. That's pretty good. And also added 3 touchdowns on the ground himself. Edmonton Coyotes up next here. Quarterback Caden Haskins Jr., 4,002 yards, so just barely past that 4,000-yard mark. 39 touchdowns to 11 interceptions on a 65% completion percentage, and also ran for 407 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. So nice work there by Caden Haskins Jr. Timmy Winfield was the third leading receiver on the Coyotes. 59 catches for Timmy, 764 yards, averaging 44.9 a game, and also contributed 9 touchdowns as well. So a nice work there to Timmy Winfield. And then, of course, one of our newer subscribers, defensive end here, Cody Bricks. I forget who he took over. He only joined a couple episodes ago, but good stats, 69 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 7.5 sacks. Nice season from Cody, and shout out to the Edmonton Coyotes. Kissimmee Crocs up next here. Only one subscriber on this team, and I'm telling you guys, as I'm saying the names of these teams, for some reason, if you try to type in my username on the download center, it's CJ_Smallz330. It doesn't pull it up, but you can look up the names of these teams and you can search them that way. Download these teams, play with them. They're fun. They're awesome. They got great uniforms, great stadiums. I put a ton of hard work into it. But on the Kissimmee Crocs here, one receiver, one subscriber being a wide receiver, that is Blake Altenhofen, second leading receiver on the team behind Garrett Wilson. He had 74 catches for 928 yards, averaging 54.6 yards per game, and also found the end zone 7 times. So shout out Blake Altenhofen and the Kissimmee Crocs. 2 subscribers here on the Portland Destroyers. We got that one-time potential MVP candidate, quarterback Dominic Young, had a really good season, 3,807 yards, but look at that touchdown interception ratio. That is nasty. 42 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. So great season there. He also ran for 243 yards and a touchdown. And wide receiver Alexander Kleblek ran for 26 yards as well. And receiving wise, not a lot of, other than Keenan Allen, not a lot of yards on the Destroyers, but hey, they're in the playoffs, so I guess it worked. But Alexander here had 58 catches for 576 yards, averaging 33.9 yards per game, and also found the end zone 3 times. Jersey Shore D's, number 1 seed in the AFC, they're up next, and second leading receiver, second and third, as a matter of fact, both subscribers. So we got Tommy Pickle here, who came over via trade from the Rochester Rebels. He had 72 catches for 936 yards, averaging 55.1 yards per game, and also had 6 touchdowns. And tight end Jesse Score Moore actually led the team in receptions at 89, third place on the team in yards at 873. And Jesse averaged 51.4 yards per game, but had 9 touchdowns on the season. So really nice work there. And then subscriber corner here, Aiden Grau. He had 68 tackles, 3 TFLs, no sacks, no picks. That's kind of unfortunate. You know, when it comes to the playoffs, they say defense wins games. But shout out to all the subscribers on the number 1 seeded Jersey Shore D's. Our division rival, Oklahoma City Eels, they got 4 subscribers, and another candidate for MVP here, quarterback Mason Buchanan. A very strong season for Mason indeed. 4,260 yards, 40 touchdowns to 11 picks, another really good TD interception ratio, and Mason completed 72% of his passes. Grom Briner was the leading rusher on the Eels. Not a lot of rushing yards. We know that Grom Briner had a bunch of receiving yards though, but he did lead the team in rushing yards at 726, averaging 3.5 yards per carry for 8 touchdowns. And Mason Buchanan on the ground, pretty good as well. 379, averaged 4.6 yards per carry, and also 4 touchdowns. Receiving wise for the Eel, we have another one of our newer subscribers, Ray. Second place on the team in both catches and yards. So 74 receptions for 773 yards. Rayer averaged 45.5 yards per game and also added 7 touchdowns. But get a look at this, man. Grom Briner is just... he's a wide receiver in a running back's body, I suppose. 480 yards, 55 receptions for a running back. That's wild. And he averaged almost 30 yards per game, but tied for first place on the team with Hunter Renfrow for receiving touchdowns. That is absolutely wild. And we got one defender here, Dr. Dre Harris. He had 72 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, no sacks, but 2 interceptions, and also 3 pass deflections. So shout out all my subscribers on our division rival, Oklahoma City Eels. North Carolina Flyers, also in our division, 1 subscriber, and he happens to be the brother of our subscriber QB, so Alex Thompson. They had a tough year, but his stats were pretty good. Finished the year with 3,866 yards, 31 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, also completed 71% of his passes, and he also ran, why is my name's cut off here? There we go. He also ran 70 times? Okay, for a quarterback? All right, well, there you go. He ran 70 times for 297 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, and also 2 touchdowns. So shout out Alex Thompson and the North Carolina Flyers. San Jose Industrials up next. They got 2 subscribers. They're a playoff team. And shout out to Yeezy Fuentes, second place on the team in receptions and yards as well. So 69 catches for 940 yards. Yeezy averaged 55.3 yards per game, and he was second place on the team in touchdowns. So just second place on everything behind Zay Flowers. He had 10 touchdowns, but that's a very, very solid year for Yeezy. And then defensively, we got cornerback Josh Pickney had 75 tackles, 2 TFLs, 3 interceptions. That's awesome. And also 7 pass deflections. So a great year defensively for Josh. And shout out to the San Jose Industrials. We got 1 subscriber on the Las Vegas Jacks. They had a tough season as well, but Chase Kaiser here, pretty good season, nothing crazy, but it's respectable for sure. He had 3,447 yards on 24 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, so not the best touchdown interception ratio. Did complete the ball at a very high rate though, at 73%. And I'm sure Chase is going to try to lead his boys to a better season next year. Need some more subs here on the Las Vegas Jacks as well. But shout out to Chase Kaiser and the Las Vegas Jacks. Another playoff team here. We got the Grand Rapids Lightning, and quarterback Lucas Spicer had 4,139 passing yards, 24 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. So again, like not the best, but little under 2-1, but also 70% completion. And you know what? It was good enough because he got his boys to the playoffs, right? And what is up with these quarterbacks running it like all these attempts? Like 90 attempts for a quarterback? Is that normal? I feel like it's not. Not for everybody around the league, but I guess that's the Madden sim engine for you. But Lucas had 398 yards on the ground, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. And also had 4 rushing touchdowns, so a great all-around season. Got 2 subscriber receivers here. Floyd Butler had 67 receptions for 743 yards, averaging 43.7 yards per game. But Floyd did lead the team in receiving touchdowns at 7. So nice work there. And also one of our newer subscribers here, tight end Jarek Smith, didn't really get involved too much, but he's also got Sam Laporta on the team as well. So Jarek had 101 yards on 8 catches, averaged 5.9 yards per game, no touchdowns, but I'm sure he'll be a more prominent impact next season. And a shout out to all my subs here on the Grand Rapids Lightning. One lone subscriber here on the St. Petersburg Manatees. That would be strong safety W. Mans, also a kind of a newer subscriber as well. So W. Mans here finishes the year with 70 tackles, 1 TFL, no sacks, and also 1 interception, and 6 pass deflections. They are also a playoff team, and like I said, defense wins championships. So shout out W-Man and the playoff-bound St. Petersburg Manatees. Cooper Fox, I know you just joined, so you inherit Derek Carr's stats, and I'm confident that this was a rough season for Derek Carr, and that's probably why the Motors were 1-16, especially that completion percentage. My God. But I'm confident Cooper will have a much better season next year. So this year, Derek Carr finished with 3,095 yards, 23 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. Not great. And this is probably the lowest completion rate that I've seen for a quarterback, subscriber, or non in the SFL. Only 58%. But like I said, these are not Cooper stats. They're Derek Carr stats. And next season, this 7-foot phenom is going to dominate, I am sure. Montana Mountain Lions up next here, and quarterback McDonald's 10-piece. What a name. You got to love to see that. Also, what a season. 3,918 yards through the air, 37 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions at a 67% completion rate. We also got running back, this kind of looks like a running back by committee, right? So McDonald's 10-piece ran, again, 91 times. That's crazy. For 375 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry, and also found the end zone 3 times. And then we got Crab Kingsley, who just joined a couple episodes ago. So these stats are not going to be, indicative of what he might get next year. But he ran the ball 56 times for 226 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry, and also found the end zone twice as well. Receiver 2, Christian Bangle, he ran 6 times for 23 yards. And receiving wise here, we have a subscriber in first place on the team. That's awesome to see. So shout out Christian Bangle. Caught 76 passes for 893 yards, averaging 52.5 per game. Also found the end zone 3 times as well. And tight end Gavin Goat here, second place on the team in touchdowns. That's good to see at 10. And he also caught 68 passes for 769 yards, averaging 45.2 yards per game. We also got one defender here on the Mountain Lions, and that would be King Lay. So King here had 73 tackles, 2 TFLs, and a half a sack. No picks. Kind of unfortunate, but at least he was doing some other good things from his safety position, and also had 2 pass deflections too. So shout out all my subscribers here on the Montana Mountain Lions. Dakota Pronghorns, I got a feeling, and I don't know why, but I got a feeling that they're going to do some good things next year. We got 2 subscribers here. One of them just joined, Gianni Cortese. So he had 3,795 yards. I forget who their JJ McCarthy was their quarterback before. He also had 29 touchdowns and 19 interceptions, completing 65% of his passes. So decent season for Gianni. And then the running back, Caleb King, not a whole lot of rushing yards here on the Pronghorns, but Caleb had 849 yards, averaging only 3.5 yards per carry. That's kind of rough. Did have 5 touchdowns though. And then Gianni Cortese, the quarterback, only 73 times. Wow, that's a down year for subscriber quarterbacks, I would say. He added 263 yards on the ground, averaging 3.6 yards per carry, and also found the end zone 3 times. And again, I got a good feeling about these Pronghorns. Can't explain it. We'll see if that's true for next season. But shout out to all my subs on the Dakota Pronghorns. Number 2 seed, Roswell Revolutions in the NFC up next. And they have subscriber, another twin brother duo, which I love to see. Subscriber here, Noah Acro, had a pretty good season, I would say. 3,689 yards, 37 TDs, and 13 interceptions, but a good completion rate at 70%. And he also added, I was looking at the wrong person, 246 yards on the ground, averaging 3.4 yards per carry. No touchdowns, though. And receiving-wise here, we got B.T. Taylor leading the team in yards. Anyways, that's awesome. So 70 catches for 921 yards for BT, averaging 54.2 yards per game, and also 5 touchdowns. And defensively here on the Revolution, we have Jameer Juice, who had 67 tackles from his corner position, 2 TFLs and a half a sack, and also 2 interceptions. So that's awesome to see. And then Gio Cruz here, defensive end, 52 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. That is awesome. 5.5 sacks. That is awesome as well. Revolution probably gonna cause some havoc here in the playoffs, at least I would think. So shout out all my subs on the Roswell Revolution. Yeah, Boulder Rockies, man, tough season. It is what it is. They'll bounce back next year. But yeah, 7 losses in a row. That's heartbreaking. But QB Lucas Thomas here, 3,653 yards through the air. He had 29 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, and he completed 67% of his passes. I know he ran the ball a lot. Yeah, 110 attempts for Lucas Thomas as a quarterback, mind you. That's wild. And he added 419 yards, averaged 3.8 yards per game, and also found the end zone 6 times as well. So he might be a running back in a quarterback's body. I don't know, but subscriber wide receiver here, Austin Lucas, 71 catches, 769 yards through the air, averaging 45.2 yards per game, and also had 3 touchdowns. Better year for the Rockies next year, I'm confident. But shout out all my subscribers on the Boulder Rockies. One lone subscriber on the Fort Worth Rough Riders. They almost helped us get to the playoffs by defeating the St. Louis Sentinels. So shout out to you, Devin Fry, and the Rough Riders for that. But Devin, I can't remember who he took over. Let me think here. It's Tua Tagovailoa, I believe. And kind of a difficult season, 3,572 yards. But the 22 touchdowns and the 20 picks, that's rough, but most of that was from Tua, so can't hold that against Devin Fry here. He'll turn it around next season as well. And Devin also completed 64% of his passes, so shout out Devin Fry and the Fort Worth Rough Riders. Another lone subscriber here on the St. Louis Sentinels, we got Ashton Saber, and they had a good season as well. They're the 7th seed, so just sneaked by. And Ashton, a pretty formidable year here, 4,212 yards, through the air, 38 touchdowns to 14 interceptions, completing the ball at a very high level at 73%. We'll see what they do. That could have been our spot, but they got it instead. And no hard feelings, but shout out Ashton Saber and the St. Louis Sentinels. Tough end of the season for the Sacramento Sharks, but with the superstar X Factor and channel member here, Blake Miser, I'm sure he will rally the troops for next year, and he had a good season, man. 45 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, which led the team, and also 6.5 sacks, which was second only to TJ Watt. And that's pretty good company to be in. But yeah, Blake and TJ and the boys here, they're going to turn it around next season, I'm sure. And again, if you want to be a channel member like Blake Miser here and have this superstar X Factor next to your name with some abilities, check out the channel memberships. It's worth it. Only a couple bucks a month. And you could be like Blake here and Bobby Donuts. But shout out Blake Miser and the Sacramento Sharks. Topeka Silverbacks, they just missed the playoffs too, but in their defense, they were in a very strong division. They weren't really that bad record-wise, but I think all the other teams above them were 9, 10-plus team wins. So there you go, 10-plus win teams. But Kyrie here, a good season, 4,059 yards through the air, 27 TDs and 15 interceptions, completing 68% of his passes, and he also added 232 yards on the ground, averaging 3.1 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. So shout out to Kyrie Brooks and Silverbacks Nation. Savannah Spirits, tons of subscribers here, and not sure if he won it. We'll check that in a moment. But front runner for MVP, Caleb Hayes, just a phenomenal season. Led the SFL in passing yards, by the way, at 4,691. What a season, man. What a season. Kudos to you, Caleb. And he had 39 touchdowns to 13 interceptions and completed 74% of his passes. That is wild. Subscriber running back here, Daniel Banks, a 1,000-yard season. You'll love to see it. 1,058 yards on the ground, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, 15 touchdowns, and he averaged 62.2 yards per game. Caleb Hayes also did his thing on the ground as well, 90 attempts, no surprise there, for 359 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry, and 7 touchdowns as a quarterback, running the ball. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Receiving, just off the charts here, man, for tons of people. Subscriber DeAndre Smith here, 1,102 yards on the season, 64.8 yards per game, and also found the end zone 6 times. So a really good season from DeAndre. His brother, George Smith, pretty solid season in his own right. Caught 75 passes, 895 yards through the air, averaging 52.6 yards per game, and also 5 touchdowns. Subscriber tight end here, Dallas Bolton, good season. They all had good seasons. That's why they're number 1 seed, right? But he caught 79 passes for 845 yards, averaging 49.7 yards per game and 5 touchdowns. And then Daniel Banks as a running back, another strong season. It was our running back, who you'll see in a moment, Brian Briner and Daniel Banks. They were like the big receiving threats as running backs. And Daniel here had 400 receiving yards, averaging 23.5 per game, and also had 4 touchdowns as a pass catcher. And defensively, Cam O'Shea, middle linebacker, a good season. He was a stat sheet stuffer, 106 total tackles, leading the team, by the way. He had 5 TFLs, a sack, and 3 interceptions as a middle linebacker. That's really good, and he should be, in conversations, I think, for maybe Defensive Player of the Year. Not sure. He probably won't get it because he's a linebacker, but still. Cornerback Trustin Smith, 66 total tackles and 3 interceptions. That's good to see. Jackson Prime, also a CB, had 61 tackles, 2 TFLs, a half of a sack, and no INTs. But 4 pass deflections. Trustin had 5 pass deflections, as a matter of fact. And Jaden Hayes, I did move the Spirits to a 3-4 defense, as my man Caleb requested. Look, when you're an MVP candidate, you request something, you get it. That's the Tom Brady treatment, right? So, no, I'm just kidding. Anybody requests anything, I'll do it for you. Don't worry. But Jaden here, 59 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a half a sack. So all around, good season. And then can't forget Eli Acro, brother of Noah Acro, the QB for the Revolution. He had 35 tackles, 5 TFLs, and 2 sacks. Also 1 pass deflection. So shout out all the subscribers on the #1 seed in the AFC, or in the NFC, sorry, Savannah Spirits. Salem Steelhawks, they snuck into the playoffs alongside here. Cameron Moore had a good season himself, 3,714 yards, 25 touchdowns, but only 6 interceptions. That is actually kind of crazy. They're very Aaron Rodgers-like numbers with the INTs, and he completed 69% of his passes, so a good season by Cameron. Running back Ian Tyler Co, a great season. This might be most yards I've seen from a subscriber running back so far. 1,225, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. That's crazy. 11 touchdowns, and Ian had 72.1 yards per game. Really, really good season. And Cameron Moore added 304 yards himself as a runner, averaging 3.6 yards per game and 7 touchdowns. So great stats there by the Salem Steelhawks. Tight end Joe Uno never really got him going too much. Tyler Higbee, I guess. Well, really neither tight end didn't. This must be like this is Seattle's offense. So yeah, I guess DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba are the feature players there. And I guess there you go. 2 wide receivers that model them. But anyways, let's see. Where was I at here? Receiving. Joe Uno had 19 catches for 215 yards, no touchdowns. It's kind of unfortunate. And Ian Tyler Co had 28 catches for 217 yards, averaging 12.8 yards per game. Also had 1 touchdown as a pass catcher as well. Defensively, got 3 subs here on the Steelhawks. First up here, Daniel THG. 70 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a big-time interception to go along with 6 pass deflections. So a nice season there by Daniel. And of course, the Oreo brothers. Not Oreo was a problem in the backfield all season. His name always lit up on the stat sheets, man. 50 total tackles, but out of those 50, 14 of them were TFLs and 8 of them were sacks. That's a good season. That's a really good season. And brother here, it's Oreo. Pretty good season as well. 27 tackles, 6 TFLs, and 4 sacks. So the Oreo brothers going to be looking to crunch opposing offenses in the SFL playoffs. Akron Summits just missed the playoffs by a short and a curly here. They'll get it next year, I'm sure. But quarterback Dragon Zetron, pretty good season. 3,000. I'm sorry, not 300. That would not be a good season. 3,533 yards, 26 TDs, and 7 interceptions, but a very good completion rate at 71%. So shout out Dragon Zetron and the Akron Summits. Toronto Thunderbirds up next too. They also missed the playoffs as well, but a good season, I would say, from Jordan Baker. 3,476 yards. A pretty good touchdown interception ratio, over 3-1, so you'll take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, and completing 67% of his passes. He also ran 60 times for 240 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry, and a lone touchdown in there as well. And then one of our newer subscribers here, Barnaby Hunt, second place on the team. Nice stats there. Caught 63 passes for 819 yards, averaging 48.2 yards per game. Also tied with Cortland Sutton for most touchdowns on the season with 9. So shout out to my 2 subscribers on the Toronto Thunderbirds. And I had to save my Tuscaloosa Terminators for last. That's the team I play with each and every episode. So I've grown to love them. It's been a love-hate relationship at times because it was a stressful season. But no, these are my guys here. And boy, we made some kind of run there at the end. We almost made the playoffs, and I'm sure next season that we will. But we were led by quarterback Drew Thompson, 3,787 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. For me, well, you can't count that because I've explained this story so many times, I'm not going to do it anymore. But 9 interceptions, that's what Drew Thompson had. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Also completed 72% of his passes, so nice work there. JJ Huntington may win the Offensive Player of the Year for the simple fact that this man had 24 touchdowns. Nobody else was even close. And I did use JJ quite often, especially down there in the red zone, and I think that he will get that Opoy. He also had 1,229 yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. So a great all-around season by JJ. Drew Thompson, so this is me as a user, only 30 attempts. I don't run with the quarterback that often, But he had 94 yards, so give him his flowers, averaging 3.1 yards per carry and also 1 touchdown from Drew on the ground. Receiving wise, it is just nasty, man. Look at all those receiving yards here. Njoku, not a subscriber, but I gotta shout him out. David, if you're watching, which I'm sure you're not, if you're watching, drop a comment because you led the SFL in receiving yards. The Chief, David Njoku. You love to see it. Wide receiver Jake Powers, only been on the team for about 3-4 episodes. This guy is a weapon. Finishes the year with 1,092 yards, 8 touchdowns, and averaging 64.2 yards per game. Ty Huntington, also a 1,000-yard season, 1,069 yards. He caught 73 passes too, and averaged 62.9 yards per game, 13 touchdowns, which was best on the team. So shout out Ty Huntington. And JJ Huntington as a pass catcher, pretty good. Caught 75 passes. That's second place on our team, and he's a running back. Now, most of those are screens and RPOs, but not all of them. There's some Texas routes and some flat routes mixed in there as well. But JJ had 663 yards, averaging 39 yards per game, and also 1 touchdown as a pass catcher. And then Scooby McBoomski, can't really look at these stats too much. Only been in the league a couple games, and I never used my backup tight end prior to having Scooby. So watch next season, he's gonna light up the stat sheet, I'm sure. But he caught 10 passes for 101 yards, no touchdowns, and averaged 5.9 yards per carry. But yeah, next season gonna be much different. Roquan Smith should be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, man. 21 tackles for loss. I know only 3 sacks, 2 picks though, 118 tackles. Like, that's absolutely crazy. Not a subscriber though, so we'll move on from that. But Roquan, you're my guy.
Well done.
Amari Taylor, 67 tackles though, pretty good there. No TFLs, no sacks. Had 1 interception and also 5 pass deflections too. Brandon Moore, our strong safety, he was all over the place. 61 tackles, 6 of those being tackles for loss, and also a big sack. No picks, but did have 4 pass deflections, so I will certainly take that. And special shout out Jaden Taylor here, our cornerback, for leading our team in interceptions with 4. That's awesome to see. He had 3 sacks, also 60 tackles, and he came alive in the latter parts of the season. So next season, the future is bright for my man Jaden. TJ Huntington, one of the 3 Huntington brothers here, had 47 tackles, 3 TFLs, and no sacks and no picks. Jax Vaden was a problem though in the backfield. 27 tackles, but 8 of those TFLs and 5.5 of them are sacks. Like, that's what, almost a third of his tackles were sacks or TFLs. That's crazy. Austin Kringle had 23 tackles, 4 TFLs, and 2 sacks. And our defensive tackle here, Silas Vaden, good season, 18 tackles, 11 TFLs, and 3 sacks. So, like, half of this man's tackles were TFLs and sacks. That's awesome. And, of course, Aiden Leslie had 17 tackles, 4 TFLs, and 2 sacks. So, shout out to all my subscribers on your Tuscaloosa Terminators. And wow, my man got absolutely robbed here. Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. Caleb Hayes had that number 1 spot for like the whole freaking season. And Lamar Jackson of the D's. Lamar Jackson always wins the MVP in Madden, man. Come on. In my opinion, Caleb Hayes was the MVP, not Lamar. But that is tough to see. So Caleb finishes number 2. Mason Buchanan of the Eels, number 3. Dominic Young of the Destroyers, number 5. Caden Haskins of the Junior of the Coyotes is number 6. And also Ashton Saber of the Sentinels, number 10. That's absolutely crazy, man. I'm upset, and that's not even my team. Like, I really thought he was going to win it, but hey, what are you going to do? Going on over to the AFC side, Offensive Player of the Year, we got no subscribers in there. Defensive Player of the Year, we have no subscribers there either. Offensive Rookie of the Year, though, goes to Dragon Zetron of the Akron Summits. So nice job there. Jesse Moore of the Jersey Shore D's is number 3. Blake Altenhofen of the Kissimmee Crocs is number 4. Tommy Pickle of the D's. So the D's just got players all over the place. Like, there's just D's everywhere.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But Tommy Pickle, number 5. And also we got Alexander Kleblek as number 10. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we got Blake Miser of the Sacramento Sharks. He is number 3, and he may be the only one in there. He is. Best QB, Dominic Young of the Destroyers, number 2. Caden Haskins Jr. of the Coyotes, number 4. And we also got McDonald's 10-piece of the Mountain Lions, number 8. And Dragon Zetron of the Summits, number 9. Best running back, subscribers, no subscribers in the AFC side. For best running back, best wide receiver, we have no subscribers as well. Okay. Best offensive line, no subscriber offensive lineman, at least not yet. Best D lineman, we have no subscribers there on the AFC side. Best linebacker, we have no subscribers there either. Okay. And best DB, we also have no subscribers, at least not on the AFC side. And there we go. Give my man his flowers. JJ Huntington is your offensive player of the year on the NFC, as I thought he would be. And with those 24 touchdowns, man, that is well deserved. Caleb Hayes of the Spirits is number 4. Daniel Banks of the Spirits is number 5. Also David Njoku in there too. That's awesome. Mason Buchanan of the OKC Eels is number 8. And then also of the OKC Eels, Graham Briner is number 10. And Defensive Player of the Year, I can't believe Roquan Smith was not in there, man. They don't give love to middle linebackers, though. So, you know, it is what it is. Offensive Rookie of the Year, DeAndre Smith was number 2. Barnaby Hunt, who just joined last episode, he was number 3. So shout out to Barnaby Hunt. Drew Thompson was number 5. BT Taylor was number 6 of the Revolution. Floyd Butler of the Grand Rapids Lightning was number 7. Gianni Cortese of the Pronghorns was number 8. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We got 3 Revolution members here. Okay, they're on a revolution for defensive players, I suppose. 2 of them being subscribers, though. So Gio Cruz, number 6, and Jameer Juice, number 7. So good stuff there. Best QB, Caleb Hayes of the Spirits. Obviously, he was almost the MVP, so of course he would get Best QB. Mason Buchanan of the Eels was number 2. Ashton Saber of the Sentinels was number 4. Cameron Moore of the Salem Steelhawks was number 5. Noah Acro of the Revolution was number 6. Craig Ray of the Argonauts was 7. Lots of subscribers. Everybody besides Drake May, okay, was a subscriber. That is awesome. So Alex Thompson of the Flyers, number 8. Drew Thompson, couple brothers there, side by side, was number 9. And Jordan Baker of the Thunderbirds was number 10. Best running back, of course, JJ Huntington. I mean, come on now. He was Offensive Player of the Year, right? Of course he's going to be up there. So good stuff there. Daniel Banks of the Spirits was number 3. Graham Briner of the Eels was number 6. Ian Taylor-Cio of the Steelhawks was number 7. Bobby Donuts, Superstar X Factor and channel member, was number 8. Best wide receiver here, we got another Huntington brother, Ty Huntington. He finishes number 4. And also, we got nobody else. Okay, then. So just Ty Huntington. Well, there you go. Good job, Ty. Shout out to you. Best defensive lineman. We do not have any subscribers there. Okay. Best linebacker. Now, at least Roquan Smith's in that. Okay, I will definitely take that. But no subscribers here in the race for best linebacker. Best DB, though. I know I see Jaden Taylor down there, so that's awesome. And he's the only one. So Jaden Taylor, number 10 for Best DB. And did we get my man Corey Booter? Did not get a nod for Best Kicker. But you could blame that on me. But shout out to all the subscribers who finished in the top 10 for all of these yearly awards. You love to see it, and you guys rock. All right, and now to get on to the playoffs. I know that was a long-winded intro, but that's your guys' season. And I hope that you checked out the stats here, and also just want to show you the playoff schedule here. No force winning, nothing. Okay, I'm not having my hand in the pot at all. So we're going to go ahead and sim the first week here of the wild card, and I have no idea what to expect, man. I really wish that we were in this. Of course, we're not, but we're going to take a look here and see who gets to move on in the SFL playoffs. So checking out the bracket here, let's go ahead and move my ugly mug out of the way. The Roswell Revolution beat the St. Louis Sentinels 33-14. The Albany Argonauts beat the Salem Steelhawks in an absolute shootout, instant classic, 41-35. And the Grand Rapids Lightning beat the San Jose Industrials 35-27. Wow. Some great games over there. And on the AFC side, the Portland Destroyers beat the Massachusetts Smithies 31-25. The Memphis Suns beat the St. Pete Manatees by one singular point, 28-27. And the Edmonton Coyotes do beat the Providence Red Raiders 27-17. So aside from the Coyotes Red Raiders game, all the higher seeds won. And we got to take a look at these stats and see who did what in the first round. You can look at the Destroyers and Smithies game first here. See how our quarterback Dominic Young performed. He had a ton of yards, 349 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But this man completed 89% of his passes. Like, are we serious right now? Are we kidding? Like, what in the world? And he also ran one time for 3 yards as well. And receiving game, we'll check on Alexander Kleblek. Oh my God. Wow. 11 catches, 185 yards, and a score. Alexander, if you're watching, brother, drop something in the comments because you had the game of your career and it came in the playoffs. So shout out to the Portland Destroyers for moving on to the next round. Revolution and Sentinels. This was a rather lopsided game, I would say. And Noah Acro, he came to play. 279 yards, but 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 125.8 quarterback rating, and completed 67% of his passes. Ashton Saber just didn't do enough, man. 210 yards, 1 touchdown, but a pick. It's not going to get it done. Gotta do a little bit more than that. Ashton ran one time for 8 yards, and Noah ran 2 times for 4 yards. So there you go. BT Taylor had a great game, though. 7 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, these subscriber receivers are bringing their A game in the playoffs, and you just absolutely love to see it. Jameer Juice, the cornerback, had 5 tackles, no sacks, no TFLs, and no picks. Gio Cruz had 3 tackles, but also a sack in there as well. So the Revolution do move on, and some really great individual performances by their subscribers. St. Pete Manatees lost a close one to the Suns, man, and Trevor Lawrence played good, but not good enough. We'll check on the defensive stats here of W. Mans of the Manatees. Had 4 tackles, no sacks, no INTs. Could have used some of those, and the Manatees, they got this far, but they just suffered a crushing defeat to the Memphis Suns. And I mean, this game right here, like, instant classic. The Argonauts move on, 41-35 score. And we had some interesting things here with the quarterbacks. Craig Ray, 339 through the air, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. And go ahead and flip those stats for Cameron Moore because he had 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. That's a dagger. Had 302 yards, so that was good. But man, oh man, those 3 picks. That was crazy. And I mean, subscribers are just balling out right now. Like, what am I looking at? Bobby Donuts, 16 carries, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, he went nuts. And that's what that superstar X Factor trait does for you. So, hey, I'm just saying, channel memberships, join them. Maybe you could be like Bobby. Yeah! And Ian Taylor Seal played good too, but just not on the level of Bobby. He had 17 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Cameron Moore ran for 3 times for 13 yards. And Craig Ray ran 4 times for 12 yards. And getting a look at the subscribers defensively for the Steelhawks here, Daniel THG didn't have any picks or sacks, but he had 9 tackles. So he was definitely all over the field. So that's good to see from him. Not Oreo, doing not Oreo stuff. It wasn't enough, unfortunately. But he had 5 tackles and 2 sacks. He's been doing that pretty much all season. And it's Oreo. No stats on the stat sheet. They definitely could have used that. But hey, I'll tell you what, Joe Uno, who's been quiet all season, even though the Steelhawks lost, he has best game of the season, man. 5 catches for 63 yards. But I would have loved to see that game. And shout out to the Albany Argonauts for moving on to the next round. Coyotes were able to take care of business here against the Providence Red Raiders. So they were the only lower seed to move on to the next round. And Caden Haskins Jr. had 282 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions. So he was clean on the interception stat, I guess. So that's good to see. Also ran 5 times too for 17 yards. So very nice work. And go ahead and take the Red Raiders off because they got no subscribers. Timmy Winfield had 5 catches for 57 yards, no touchdowns, but still made a very, very good contribution, I would say. And then defensively, we got our new subscriber. Where is he at? Come on, I know you're around here somewhere. There he is, Cody Bricks. Didn't really do too much. I mean, his team got the win, so that's all that matters. Only 1 tackle. But shout out to all the subscribers on the Edmonton Coyotes. You are moving on to the next round. Another really good contest here, the Grand Rapids Lightning and the San Jose Industrials. Lucas Spicer, he came to play. 129.4 quarterback rating. That is incredible. 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So he and Drake May, they just went at it, man. Like I said, it was probably an instant classic, and I wish I could have watched that game. Lucas also ran 2 times for 14 yards. So there you go. Receiving wise, let's see. Lots to unpack here. Floyd Butler had 5 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. And Yeezy Fuentes, he's been just playing great all season, but too quiet in this one. It's too quiet in this one. 4 catches, 31 yards, had a touchdown. So that's good, but the yardage, just wasn't there, unfortunately, and no stats here for Jarek Smith, and the Lightning, I guess they didn't need him because they were able to take care of business, but my God, Josh Pickney was all over the place. 12 tackles, no sacks, no INTs, no TFLs, but 12 tackles, that's awesome, and that was a heartbreaker for the Industrials, but moving on to the next round is the Grand Rapids Lightning. So the stage is set here for the divisional. We got the Coyotes taking on the Jersey Shore D's, the Grand Rapids Lightning taking on the Savannah Spirits, the Memphis Suns taking on the Portland Destroyers, and the Albany Argonauts taking on the Roswell Revolution. We got some good ball clubs here, and I imagine going to be some really, really high-scoring games. So we are going to advance the next week and sim this divisional round. Who will come away victorious? We're about to find out. All right, so the Savannah Spirits do beat the Grand Rapids Lightning 28-17. Spirits are just too good, man. But how about the Albany Argonauts beating the number 2 seed Roswell Revolution, score of 27-3. So the 3 seed moves on and the 1 seed moves on the NFC side. Over on the AFC side, the Jersey Shore D's took care of business against the Edmonton Coyotes, but it was only a 1-score game, so they do win 20-13. And then the Portland Destroyers going to be moving on after beating the Memphis Suns 31-28. So we got the 1 seed and the 2 seed on the AFC moving on. We got the 1 seed and the 3 seed on the NFC moving on. Let's check out how our subscribers performed here in the division. Get a look at the Jersey Shore D's and the Edmonton Coyotes. I expected this to be a higher scoring game, especially with MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson. I'm still mad about that, man. Caleb Hayes should have got it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But Caden Haskins Jr., not a good game. No other way to say it. I mean, 167 yards, no interceptions, but also no touchdowns as well. And they really could have used some. Caden did run 4 times for 22 yards. Lamar Jackson also only 4 times running for him. I expected more, I gotta say. But Tommy Pickle, really good game. Like, was there who scored the touchdowns in this game? I'm not seeing them. I guess Lamar and Cooper Kupp rushing. So lots of rushing touchdowns. But Tommy Pickle, really good game, man. 9 catches for 105 yards. That's awesome. Jesse Moore also played really good too. 8 catches for 93 yards, no touchdowns, but the yardage was on full display for sure. And Timmy Winfield, 3 catches for 45 yards. Could have used some touchdowns in there. That's all I can really say about that. And then defensively, got a couple subs here. Cody Bricks played pretty good. 5 tackles, a TFL, no sacks, but better stats than he had in the wild card round. And then Aiden Grau, the corner, had 4 tackles, no picks, no sacks, no TFLs, but a big pass deflection. And the Jersey Shore D's are moving on to the conference championship. Savannah Spirits, I mean, I figured they would win. You know, the number 1 seeds take care of business, and they were able to dispatch the Grand Rapids Lightning, and Caleb Hayes showing you why he should have won that MVP award over Lamar Jackson. Just an absolute amazing game. 343 through the air, a 125.1 quarterback rating. He had 4 touchdowns to only 1 interception. That's MVP caliber material right there. And Lucas Spicer played okay, but, not one of his best games. 263 through the air, 93.3 quarterback rating. Did have 1 touchdown, but also a pick as well. So that was kind of rough. Daniel Banks of the Spirits ran 15 times for 55 yards, only 3.7 yards per carry. So it was the passing game, really, that got this one done for the Spirits. Lucas Spicer ran 3 times for 13 yards, and Caleb Hayes also ran 4 times for 9 yards. Receiving wise here, George Smith caught 4 catches for 66. We also got Dallas Bolton, the tight end. He caught 4 catches for 54 yards. DeAndre Smith had 5 for 47. Floyd Butler, even though it was a loss, it's good to see him get a touchdown. 4 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. So silver lining, that's good to see. Daniel Banks caught 5 catches for 21 yards and a touchdown. And Jarek Smith did get involved, but not much. 1 catch for 12 yards and no touchdowns in there. So yeah, it was tough, man. But that's, you're taking on the number 1 seed. That's going to happen. Cam O'Shea, the linebacker, 7 tackles and a TFL. So he's doing what he's pretty much been doing all season, right? Jackson Prime, the CB, he had 5 tackles. Jaden Hayes, the linebacker, had 5 tackles and a TFL. So changing that playbook up, definitely getting Jaden more involved as a linebacker. So that's good to see. We got Eli Acro, 4 tackles and a TFL. And Trustin Smith, the corner, no stats for him. Believe that's all. If I missed anybody, please call me out in the comments. A lot of subscribers to remember. But shout out to the Savannah Spirits, also moving on to the conference championship. Had a good game here. The Portland Destroyers beat the Memphis Suns 31-28. And Dominic Young was playing good, 235 through the air, a 104.4 quarterback rating. He had 2 touchdowns to no interceptions. So that was good to see from him. And did he run at all? Am I just missing it? Surely I'm missing it, right? I don't think that Dominic Young ran the ball, which is he did. 2 times for -2 yards. And receiving, I'm telling you, these subscribers are balling out here in the playoffs, and I am here for it. I love to see it. Alexander Koblek, 6 catches, 78 yards, and a big-time touchdown. It's a close game. No subscribers on the Suns. A shout out to the Portland Destroyers for moving on to the next round. And I can't believe this, man. The Albany Argonauts, they are making some type of run here in the playoffs as a number 3 seed. So they were able to dispatch the Roswell Revolution. Craig Ray had 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT. And Noah Acro had 269, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. And that right there is probably what did it in. Bobby Donuts as a superstar X Factor. He is playing good in these playoffs. 19 catches, 96 yards, and 5.1 average yards per carry. So that is awesome to see. Noah Acro had 6 runs for 24 yards. And Craig Ray added 4 for 17 as well. And receiving wise here, we have, BT Taylor, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Not as good of a game as his previous one, that much is for sure. And also we had Bobby Donuts. He caught 1 catch for 7 yards. Defensively for the Revolution, we had cornerback Jameer Juice. He had 4 tackles and a half a sack, so could have used the INT in there, but nice to see him in the backfield at least making some noise. Also, Gio Cruz had 3 tackles and a sack as well. So this one was also a thriller, and shout out to the Albany Argonauts as an underdog beating the Roswell Revolution. And your conference championship matchups are as followed. The Portland Destroyers going down to Jersey Shore to take on the D's, and the Albany Argonauts going down to Savannah, Georgia to take on the number 1 Spirits. Will their, call it Cinderella run continue? I don't know, man, but I am pumped for this conference championship. No idea what's going to happen, and we're going to advance on to the next week and see what kind of mayhem is going to occur. Oh my God. I can't even believe it. The Albany Argonauts beat the number 1 seed Savannah Spirits 45-14. They're playing possessed right now. It is absolutely crazy. So wow, that's awesome. I mean, any subscriber, I just want to and right now, whoever wins the Super Bowl is going to have a subscriber on that team. So that is really what I wanted. But wow, What a contest. And then on the AFC side, the Jersey Shore D's do take care of business against the Portland Destroyers, 35-24. We got to take a look at these freaking stats, man. So we'll go check out the D's and the Destroyers first. The D's took care of business, and Dominic Young of the Destroyers, I mean, both quarterbacks really almost identical. It's actually kind of weird. But Dominic Young, 267 through the air, 2 touchdowns and no INTs. So, I mean, he played a good game, but wasn't enough, unfortunately. Also ran 5 times for 17 yards as well. Receiving-wise, Jesse Score Moore. I mean, we're seeing like some all-time playoff performances by these subscribers, and I love it. It is a thing of beauty. But Jesse Moore crushed the stat sheet, 11 catches, 180 yards, and a big-time touchdown. And Alexander Kleblek also played good too. 6 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. And also Tommy Pickle, I mean, didn't really get involved, but I mean, when you got a receiver with stats like Jesse Moore, there's not enough footballs to go around. But Tommy Pickle did catch 2 passes for 7 yards as well. And then defensively for the D's here, we have Aiden Grau had 4 tackles. 6 tackles. My apology, Aiden. 6 tackles. And I mean, the D's did what they had to do against the Destroyers, and they are moving on to the Super Bowl. And I got a feeling that we're going to see something crazy here with this Argonauts Spirits game. So Craig Ray, 292, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and a 133.4 quarterback rating. I mean, you got to give my man props. And Caleb Hayes had a phenomenal season, just the MVP level season. But this game here, and really in the playoffs, he was playing good too, but not one of his better games. 260 through the air, 2 touchdowns, but 2 costly interceptions. And there it is, Superstar X Factor. Go grab you that channel membership for like $2 a month, and you can have stats like this. I mean, there's stats like this regardless. I'm just saying, become a channel member and I'll love you. But Bobby Donuts, 24 catches, 106 yards, averaged 4.4 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Banks kind of had a rough playoff. I'm going to be honest. 8 carries, 25 yards, no touchdowns, averaging 3.1 yards per carry. Caleb Hayes ran 3 times for 15 yards, and Craig Ray ran 2 times for 7 yards. And then defensively, for the Spirits, we'll see what they were able to do. Cam O'Shea had 8 tackles, but he was a stat sheet stuffer throughout all season, but did not really stuff the stat sheet here in one of the biggest games. So kind of unfortunate. Eli Acro had 6 tackles. Jackson Prime had 5 tackles. Jaden Hayes, nice to see him getting involved, but it wasn't enough in this one. 5 tackles. Trustin Smith, a junior, 4 tackles. But see, we're not seeing the sacks, the INTs, even the pass deflections. That's what the Spirits needed to take care of business today, and they just, for whatever reason, weren't able to. But you got to give props to the Albany Argonauts, man. They are making a run, and they pretty much demolished the Spirits 45-14. And we got to take a look at who made the Pro Bowl roster here before we get over to the Super Bowl. So we got Caleb Hayes and Caden Haskins Jr., we got Lucas Spicer, we got Noah Acro, we got J.J. Huntington, of course, as halfback number 1, and also Daniel Banks. So nice job there. Wide receivers, any subscribers here? No, unfortunately, that I don't think. I got to check there. I wish I showed their first name. I'm going to miss somebody and feel stupid. But Gavin Goat as a tight end made it. Okay. Dallas Bolton also made it as well. So nice job there. Of course, no offensive lineman, at least not yet. And defensive end, we did not have anybody. Probably not going to see a lot of defenders, I don't think, just because there's not really a high volume, and probably not any DBs, unfortunately. No. If you guys see that I missed somebody, please call me out. But yeah, no defensive players, really. So, but some nice offensive players in the Pro Bowl. And are you guys ready? Grab your popcorn. We're about to see who wins the Super Bowl and comes away with that illustrious Smallz trophy. So the stage is set. Subscribers aplenty here. We got Craig Ray and Bobby Donuts on the Argonauts, taking on Jesse Moore, Tommy Pickle, Aiden Grau over on the Jersey Shore D's. I don't know, man. The D's are the #1 seed, but the Argonauts are making some kind of run here. I don't know. It's up in the air. I could see either team winning, and whoever wins, congrats. Whoever loses, still congrats. Congrats to everybody who made the playoffs. I mean, it was a hard-fought season, and even the subscribers that didn't make the playoffs, like, there were some really strong individual performances, and we are going to advance on to the next week and see who takes home the Smallz trophy. I cannot wait. And the Jersey Shore D's do end the Albany Argonauts' Cinderella run, but it was a good game, 35-28. We got to take a look at these stats, man. Albany Argonauts, shout out to you guys, man. You guys exceeded expectations. Like, you were the 3 seed, and you made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And the #1 Jersey Shore D's showed everybody why they are the #1 seed. They took care of business, and we got to take a look at these stats here. We got to see what happened in this contest. So 35-28 was your final, and we get a look at the player stats here. Craig Ray had a ton of yards, though, 338, but no touchdowns and an interception, only an 83 quarterback rating, so we needed some TDs in there. The yardage was there, though, definitely. Lamar Jackson, I mean, I guess he's the MVP, so there you go. And Bobby Donuts, man, oh, dude, he had 2 touchdowns, okay? But just was on a tear in these playoffs. And 2 touchdowns is great, but 13 carries, 56 yards, like, just need one of those 100-plus yard performances. Craig Ray had a touchdown, though, on the ground. Ran 5 times for 20 yards. But still, Bobby Donuts, 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. That's something you're going to remember for a lifetime. Jesse Moore had 6 catches for 82 yards. Tommy Pickle, 7 catches for 75 yards. So you got to give props where props are due, man. These subscriber receivers for the Jersey Shore D's, just they played all time, another level in these SFL playoffs. Bobby Donuts also caught 1 catch for 7 yards as well. And defensively here, we get a look at the D's. We'll see how Aiden Grau did. Maybe he locked down his defenders. I mean, not really. 2 tackles, no picks, but a pass deflection. And shout out to Aiden Grau, Jesse Moore, and Tommy Pickle. The Jersey Shore D's take home the SFL trophy in season #1. All right, so the offseason is here, and just to kind of lay the land here, first and foremost, I'm going to try to re-sign all my Terminators players. Got $172 million in cap space, so I'm hoping to bring most of you guys back. And once we get to the actual free agent signing period, I'm just going to kind of do what we did last year, which is, whatever team you end up on is the team that you'll go to in the next season. I think that's the most fun and the most realistic way to do it, but this is not the most realistic series. We got, tons of people that aren't really in the NFL, so I will say this: if anybody is unhappy about where they end up at, or you want me to change something, just tell me in the comments. I mean, if you want to go back to your original team, if you end up elsewhere, that's 100% fine. This series is about you guys, so at the end of the day, whatever you guys want, I'm here to make that happen. Now, we got tons of subscribers on not tons, I wouldn't say, but a lot of subscribers on my team that we got to bring back. So starting with Ty Huntington here, let's see if we can bring him back. He wants not to be here. I guess he has no interest.
What?
But he's looking for 3 years, $36.8 million. And, we got the cap to play around with. So my main focus here is bringing back my subscribers. And, that's what I'm going to try to do. And really, if they decline, I guess I can always try to get them back in free agency anyways. But I feel confident if we offer Ty here a 3-year, we'll go to 44. I think he should come back on that deal. And he will. So welcome back, Ty Huntington. Aiden Leslie. Got to bring back Aiden Leslie. Got to keep our defensive line strong. And Aiden is looking for a 3-year, $36.3 million deal. Also doesn't have really any interest in being here. And thank God we got the cap room that we do, because we can toss the ducats out left and right here. So Aiden, we'll bring him back on I'll do 3 years, $41 million. Should bring back Aiden. and he's going to test out free agency. Aiden, what are you doing, brother? Don't worry, I will go in there, and we should still be able to get him back in the actual free agent period. Guess I could franchise tag Aiden. I probably will, but we'll leave that alone for now. Brandon Moore, strong safety, got to bring him back as well. He had a really good season with us, and he wants a 4-year, $43.2 million. Okay, Brandon is really, he's really asking for the ducats here. And you know what, Brandon, lucky for you, I got the ducats to shell out. So if we go 4 years, $50 million, again, I think that should bring back Brandon. And now he's going to test out free agency. Come on, guys. I know we didn't make the playoffs, but we got close. You got to throw me a freaking bone here or something, man. That's all right. Like I said, we'll bring him back. Now, Jaden Taylor, he does have interest in being here, so we should be able to bring him back. It should be a little bit easier to bring back Jaden. So Jaden wants 4 years, $32.2 million, and we shouldn't have to break the bank too much like we did with some of the other subscribers. So I feel confident if we give Jaden, you know what, I don't want to risk losing people anymore. So we'll give Jaden a 4-year, $36.4 million deal, and Jaden is going to come back. Thank you, Jaden. I appreciate your service. And our other cornerback, Amari Taylor, the brother of Jaden Taylor, he doesn't have as much interest in being here, and really, he wants more money too. But you know what? I'm sitting here looking at my cap, man. We're at $142 million, so like, I should not be stingy with the money. Now, that could come back to bite me down the road, but I don't know how many seasons we're going to have of the SFL. So right now, I'm just spending money. Amari Taylor, 5 years, $50 million. That should bring him back. What are we doing here, fellas? Okay, this free agent signing period, at least for my team, is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Now, luckily, Drew Thompson has some interest in being here, but he wants Max, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love type of deal. And I mean, I think it's well deserved. He played really good. And even if he didn't, he's a subscriber, right? So I'm bringing him back. So I guess we're about to make Drew Thompson like the highest paid quarterback in history on was this going to be a 5-year, $252 million deal? He should take that. Drew Thompson is coming back as a Terminator. And of course, we got to bring back my man Corey Booter. He's a good kicker, and really, he helped me mask some of my shortcomings because, as you guys know, I'm not a good kicker at all. And he had the accuracy to make me look better than what I probably was. So we're going to pay him big bucks for a kicker. 3 years, $20.1 million deal. And Corey Booter is going to come back. Now, the question is, I can use a franchise tag on somebody. We got 3 players, right, that declined, I believe. Yeah. So I think for the franchise tag, whoever costs less, right, is probably who I'll use it on. So Aiden Leslie would be $19.2 million. Brandon Moore would be $12.1 million. So it'll probably be Brandon Moore. Amari Taylor would be $20 million. So we're going to bring back Brandon Moore on the franchise tag. So that way, don't have to worry about trying to fight in free agency to get him. And then that would just leave Aiden Leslie and also Amari Taylor that we're going to try to get back in the natural free agent period. I'm going to see about some of these other guys. I'm going to do this off camera. So I'll try to lock in some of the other guys that I want, like David Njoku, for example. And I will see you guys back in the true free agent signing period. All right, so I brought back who I wanted to bring back. I did retain David Njoku, which he's up to. And you know what? I guess I should probably see. Let's see if anybody's dev traits went up. I know David Njoku did for sure. Did anybody else's dev trait go up, especially subscribers? So we got JJ Huntington is now up to a superstar. He won the Offensive Player of the Year, so I would sure hope so. And David Njoku is a superstar X Factor after leading the SFL in receiving yards. So good to see that. And let's see, nobody moved here on the defensive side. Everybody's still a star who's supposed to be a star. And of course, we got to try to bring back Amari Taylor. And Also Aiden Leslie as well. So we're going to go into the free agents. I'm also really excited to see like what other subscribers across the SFL are going to be free agents. So we'll look at the top 100 here. Of course, Amari Taylor is there. He was ours. There might actually not be Aiden Leslie, but I don't actually see. That's crazy. So I guess all the subscribers really got retained by their original team, and that's actually kind of cool because those are the teams that you guys, requested to go to. So I know when I did the SFL last season, in Madden 24, there was tons of free agents or tons of subscribers that hit free agency. So Amari Taylor has 28 teams interested in him. We got to make sure that we are at the top. And, if we don't end up getting you, Amari, if you want to come back to Tuscaloosa, it's not that difficult to make that happen. I can just turn you into a punter and trade you to our team. But I want to try to just bring you back now. So what did I give you last time? Like a $50 million deal or something like that? Hey, do you want to go up to $60 million? Is that the ballpark that we're shooting for here? I mean, hey, I'll make you the offer and we'll see you like it. So I would sure hope so. That's a lot of money. Right now we are in the lead, but with your interest not really being that high, don't know what's going to happen. And also Aiden Leslie has 20 teams interested in him. So I forget what we did for Aiden last time, like a 40 something. And this is really eating our cap up. I realize that, but look, if you want realism, go watch my Akron Summits franchise. That one is realistic. Right here in this series, it's just all about the subscribers, and that's really all I care about. So Aiden Leslie, we're going to go 48.6. You definitely like that deal. Are we in the lead, though? We are actually in a battle with the Mountain Lions and the D's. I can increase it a little bit, but even though this, is not a realistic type of series, and this is also, I need to take the offer away, or else it's gonna make my cap look all funny. So we'll withdraw the offer on Aiden. But yeah, even though this isn't like a realistic series, I don't want to just like not have cap room. Like that would be terrible. And it's still not showing my cap, I don't think, correctly, or maybe it was, I don't know. So we're gonna go up to, what did I say? It was 48 point something last time. So we'll go on up to 52. That's about as high as I can go for now. And that will put us still in first, but still in a battle with the D's and the Mountain Lions. Okay, so Aiden Leslie does come back, so appreciate that, Aiden. But Amari Taylor decides to go to the Las Vegas Jacks, which is unfortunate. We also need cornerback, too. And I also did try to target Javon Hargrave, and he went to the D's. Of course he did. They won the Super Bowl. You'll ring chaser you. But Amari Taylor is the only subscriber that I was not able to retain, and I really want him. So Amari / Jaden Taylor, whomever, let me know. It's up to you guys. Should I keep you on the Jacks, or should I move you back to the Terminators? Either way, I want to do what makes the most sense. So let me know. I do think it's cool to see free agents just kind of naturally move across the league, and a lot of, it's just always fun. I don't know, but let me know. We're down to 20 million in cap. I do need a cornerback though, since we don't have Amari Taylor now, and there's really not anybody on the board. I mean, I want speed, so like maybe I might just try to bring back like Caleb Farley. But yeah, let me know what I should do down there in the comments. I'll keep you or bring you back. Either way, I think it's the right choice. So I went ahead and got Jacorian Bennett for now, really just because of the 96 speed. And I can't believe that there was I'm sure there was other subscribers that their contracts expired, but I guess all the teams just retained them. And, I guess I kind of want to double check that though, because that is actually crazy. So all the subscribers will be like, mid 80s ish, is usually what I make them, unless they naturally progressed a bit. But I was just gonna kind of see. So JJ Huntington, there's one. I'll start to see some soon. I mean, we're in the 90s, so yeah, Craig Ray, he went up to a 92. And, I'll also check dev traits and stuff like that. I'm sure that some of these players did go up in their dev traits as well. But, yeah, I guess everybody just kind of stayed on the teams that they were supposed to. I bet you Caleb Hayes, he went up to Superstar. I actually just saw that. So shout out to Caleb Hayes. We'll kind of run through. Yeah, let's look at dev traits, I guess. This is going to be one of the last things here. Noah Acro went up to Superstar, so that's awesome. Drew Thompson is not. Ashton Saber is a Superstar. Dragon Zetron is a Superstar. We're seeing a lot. Mason Buchanan is a Superstar, so lots of dev trait upgrades here to go around. And yeah, I'm really kind of impressed that everybody stayed on their teams. JJ Huntington, Superstar, but you guys already knew that. Bobby Donut's still an X Factor. That's awesome to see. Ian Taylor CO, he didn't go up. Daniel Banks didn't go up. Yeah, that's lots of natural progression, and really just happy that all the subs stayed where they were supposed to stay. Jesse Moore also goes up to Superstar. He just won the freaking Super Bowl, so I would hope so. Gavin Goat goes up to Superstar. So this is, man, oh man, there's a lot of stuff happening here, and it's happening in a short time, but I'm here for it. Now, not too much defenders again. We'll kind of skim through it here and just see. I figured maybe not Oreo would, but unfortunately he doesn't. Of course, Blake Miser, still Superstar X Factor because he is a channel member. It doesn't look like really anybody else moved up, but I'm happy. I've seen lots of Superstar upgrades, and shout out to you guys, man. You guys earned it, and all my subscribers, y'all freaking rock. And the CPU did draft fairly decently for us. I don't do the draft in this series. I do it in my Summits franchise. But again, this is, all about the subscribers. But yeah, they drafted in the first round a 71 rated overall left end. Does he have a dev trait? Maybe. He's got hidden dev. Okay, Kurt Aldridge. You're not Aiden Leslie or Austin Kringle, but you look pretty good. And they also drafted Venzel Kilgore in the second round, 74 rated, so a wonderful name, by the way, Kilgore. I like that. No dev trait though, but still. And they drafted a 72 rated overall linebacker, Christian Lewis, in the third round. He also has a dev trait as well. So if nothing else, we're getting some added talent here in the draft. And they drafted a 75 rated overall wide receiver to play alongside with our two subscriber receivers, Jake Powers and Ty Huntington, in the fifth round. He's got to have a dev trait, right? He does. Wow. Emmett Wooden could be the steal of the whole freaking draft. And they also drafted a cornerback, which we needed, in the sixth round, and a linebacker in the seventh round. And Cam Rushing, not bad for a late round draft pick. And man, oh man, that was a exciting offseason, exciting Super Bowl. I'm really surprised I didn't have to see a lot of our subscribers in the free agency period, but I'm kind of happy that that's how it went. And man, oh man, once I drop this next episode, we are getting on to season number 2 of the SFL. And just like that guy, Julius Lambs for the Destroyers says, I'm ready as well. I'm ready for this, and I cannot wait to see what season number 2 brings for all of our teams and all of our subscribers. But that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. I will catch you on the next one. Until then, peace.